Now, when I first heard of this, I thought it was a Netflix movie. So when I went on Netflix and I clicked play, it said season 1, episode 1. I was like, oh, okay. I'll watch a few episodes, get a hang of it, and then I'll maybe watch the whole thing. Well, 12 hours went by, an all-nighter went by, and then I finally stopped watching. All of Us Are Dead is about trapped students must escape their high school, which has become ground zero for a zombie virus outbreak. So this brand new zombie South Korea show premiered on Netflix this week and is currently trending on Netflix. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a watch, and like I said, I could not stop watching it because I'm a huge horror fan. I love horror movies, and zombie movies are very much up my alley. I'm very guilty pleasure towards zombies. I mean, if you've known me for a while, back in like 8 years ago, I did a web series called The Walkers, which rip off of Walking Dead. So I'm a big zombie fan, and obviously I'm a huge fan of Train to Busan, which probably has nothing to do with this show, even though they reference in the show. I came to the show very open-minded. I was like, I like zombies, so give me some zombies. My biggest praise has to be the cinematography. This show looks masterful. I mean, wow. Obviously, Netflix produces high-quality 4K, all that kind of stuff, but the show looks amazing. I could not stop watching it. Even sometimes when there was kind of slower parts, I was like, it still looks beautiful. I mean, the school setting really intrigued me. How a bunch of students are stuck in the school and there's a zombie apocalypse happening right in front of them. And it had me sucked in from the first episode. It does everything a zombie movie's ever done before. If that's my biggest criticism. This entire season or show, I don't know if they're doing season 2 or not. All I know is this entire season brought zombie cliches that you've probably seen 100 times, with a few minor twists that do work and don't work, but that will lead to spoilers. But like I said, the show looks amazing. The makeup work, running scary zombies, always terrifying if you ask me. The gore is obviously there. There's blood, there's everything you want in a zombie show is in this show. Now, when it comes to the characters, they needed to be very strong, and I think the show did a great job in the writing. Each character always has little moments you can latch on, care for, so when characters do die, you feel horrible. There's even a few moments where I got a little teary-eyed because you latch on to these characters, this group of kids running around, and when they get picked off throughout the entire show, unexpectedly, and you're like, no, and sometimes you're like, good, I'm glad you're dead, because the show does that. It does your basic characters. You have the leader, you have the comedic humor, you have the dumbass, you have the betrayer. It does everything a zombie movie you've seen before. It works in the show. Like I said, the writing gives you enough to care about them. Now, I will say this. There is a ton of characters. There's not even we have our characters in the school. We have subplots outside of the school, and all of them round up and start connecting towards the end of the season. But for a good minute, those first couple episodes, we are jumping from other places to other places. Certain episodes, you see like one scene, then 2 episodes later, you'll see him again. Sometimes I was sitting there like, who are you? I would say it does get a little clunky. Like I said, there's a ton of subplots, a lot of things. You have a government plot line, you have people in the city, you have the parents, you have the kids in the school, which when it's always the kids in the school, that is when I'm always intrigued, 100%, because these kids do go to end up in different rooms, they go to different action set pieces. Like I said, the action scenes are awesome, gory, bloodfest, all the zombie gore you want, but when there's a ton of stuff happening, you sit there and you're like, man, I wish we could go back to the kids. I wish we could go back to this. It happens a lot while watching this show. And when it goes back to the kids, sometimes it gets a little slow because they'll literally go to one room and there'll be a whole 2 episodes of them in this room. Then they'll go to a different floor into another room. The rest of the episode will be there. The rest of the episode will be on another episode. Sometimes it kind of felt repetitive. They always go to different rooms. Someone dies. Sadness, move, gore, die, sadness. It gets a little repetitive. Towards the end of the season, when things start to happen and we get to see more of like the world, then it becomes really intriguing. So that middle half of the show was kind of repetitive. Overall though, I really did have a ton of fun with this show. I think it gives all the zombie gore fans out there enough to really enjoy it. It's got really good characters. There's moments you might tear up and cry for certain characters, and like I said, there's characters you want them to die. There's one character in particular, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it involves a bully, and it involves zombie rules, and this world is very different from zombie other movies, which I like seeing, but this bully character annoyed the piss out of me, and I wanted him to die so many times because certain things happen to him repeating, which is one of my criticisms. It gets very repetitive in this show. But again, that involves a lot of spoilers. I don't want to spoil the show. It's on Netflix right now. If you want to go check it out, it's 12 episodes long. I highly recommend it. I'm going to give All of Us Are Dead a B. It was definitely a huge surprise for me. Like I said, I went to the show knowing not even it was a show. I thought it was a movie. So I had a blast with it. I definitely recommend it for all my zombie fans out there. And guys, enjoy this review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.